Welcome back to our first intermission show from the Multiplex. Joined by Grizzlies forward. Fun fact right off the very top, and I might need some help here. Young Chang Yan, is that correct? Eddie Edward Yan?
I think that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty close.
Fair enough, close enough.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, although it's over the phone lines and it's weird. It is even the same with the Bulldog players on the other side of the puck with my regular day job that due to all these new protocols, I have to interview people that I don't get to actually see face-to-face, so it's a little bit different. But I hope by the end of all this, we'll get to know each other and we'll be fast friends. I guess the most logical place to begin, beside all the normal stuff, is your lineage and your birthplace, which, as far as I understand, is not Toronto, Ontario, Canada, as you are listed online, or is that incorrect? It's hard to find the right facts sometimes here, but let's begin with your beginning as a human being and where that was.
So I was born and raised in Beijing, China, and basically I got into hockey kind of later. I think I started skating when I was almost 6, and then I started playing hockey when I was 6, and then I moved to Toronto, Ontario when I was 9. So
okay, I was going to say, because you had said raised in Beijing. At what point did you come here? So 9 years young. Besides all the hockey stuff, what was the culture shock like? I can't even begin to imagine going from China to Canada, especially at that age. Better yet, an adult, it would probably blow my mind. What do you remember of those years and adjusting, hockey aside, just to crossing the planet and going somewhere else to live?
No, yeah, I think it was definitely really cool. I mean, the culture is so different, right? So like you said, it took me a bit to get used to, at school and on the ice. But, I was still pretty young at the time. So I think it didn't take me too long, to pick up the language and, get to know everyone and things like that. So, but it was really cool.
The fact that you said you began playing hockey, skating at 6, playing hockey at that age in China, I have absolutely no knowledge of what the hockey picture is there and what it's like. Were you in the extreme minority that you played hockey? Is it bigger there than people would imagine, or is it that much of an outside sport as maybe people would think?
Yeah, I mean, when I played, I think, in Beijing as a whole, I think there was only a number of players that played, right? I think there were only not even like 300 players that played. So obviously it wasn't well known at the time, and I think compared to now, I think every time I go back in the summers, right, the hockey's grown so much, and it's amazing to see. But for sure, at that time, hockey was not big at all, and
I guess that brings about the next question. I mean, how did you even become interested in the sport to then decide that you wanted to play it? How did you even find out it was a thing at that age?
So I have an older sister who's 4 years older than me, and she did figure skating for a bit, at that time, and I was always get picked up from school and kind of watch her skate and stuff, and my parents thought it was a good idea to get me on the ice as well, and obviously instead of figure skates, they put me on hockey skates, and I kind of just fell in love with skating and things like that, and it slowly transitioned to hockey and basically went on from there. So.
Well, they say our national sport in this country is hockey. So when you're 9, you're already playing hockey. You're moving to Canada for all the culture shock and whatnot. It almost seems like the game's kind of an international thing, and maybe that helped you adjust. You must have been excited to know, hey, I'm moving to Canada. They like hockey there. I don't want to put words in your mouth, though, but that had to go through your mind, I'm thinking?
I mean, the actual story was pretty crazy. I think Obviously my parents, and myself, knew that, the love for the game that I had was pretty big. So a lot of friends suggested I should pursue this love for hockey. Obviously in North America, knowing how big the sport is here, and especially in Canada. And then one of my dad's good friends, his son plays hockey too, and we're good buddies. And shout out to Rudy Ing. And his dad kind of knew hockey at the time, and they were settled in the USA already, and basically they help us look for teams in Canada and the US, and they finally landed. I'm not sure if you know, but it's just a minor hockey club in Toronto. It's called the Toronto Marlies, and they got in touch with them, and it was crazy. I didn't know. I'll be honest. I didn't know anything about it at the time, but we flew over as soon as we made the decision that they wanted to take a look at me and stuff, things like that. And I flew over the night of, and I remember I played in a tournament game where they saw me, and they decided to take me. So my life kind of switched, clicked.
That's a big moment.
And,
how old were you at that point?
That was when I was 9. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I guess my life just switched kind of like that, and I kind of knew what was going on at the time, but not really. But yeah, it was pretty crazy, and my life switched from there, and yeah.
At what point, at what age, did you realize, hey, maybe I can play this at a high level? Maybe I should, and maybe you always did, but the stats that finally first show up for you were the Don Mills Flyers when you were a U16 player. Is that where the high level kind of competitive stuff started, or was it earlier or after or somewhere in between?
Hockey's like minor hockey in Toronto is always competitive, right? And it's a lot of fun always. So I think like you said, when I was like 14, 15, I think that was when it got really competitive. So
all of a sudden there's international hockey that comes about, which I can't even begin to imagine the pride that you must have felt to wear your country's sweater and play in World Juniors and play with China at U18. But I'm hoping you can try to explain what that was like to first see that as a possibility to play for your country and to then have it to become a reality. What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, representing your country in sports is really surreal, and playing in those tournaments is always fun, and because the guys on the team, you kind of know most of them, growing up and things like that, and just to play with them is a lot of fun, and you get to go to these countries, and you get to see, I played in Iceland and Korea and things like that, so to get to see those countries too, and to travel and things like that, it's always a lot of fun. So it's always an honor to play for your country.
Nothing like getting to see the world while playing a game, isn't that? When you kind of step back and look at it, that's what it is. It's just a sport, and it's pretty cool where hockey can take you, where it's already taken you, isn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I've traveled, halfway across the world, since I was when I was 9. So I love to travel and get to learn new cultures. So it's always a lot of fun.
Upper Canada College, the next stop before the Grizzlies. So connect the dots that saw you go from playing there to being identified by the Grizzlies. Did they see you? Did you reach out to them? How did all that happen to bring you to this next step where you're at now?
I went to Upper Canada College from grade 7 and 12, and I decided to, play for our school team and varsity team in the 12th grade. And, that was a lot of fun, and we were able to win the national championship there, and so that was a really cool experience, and obviously, I got scouted there by the Grizzlies, and I came over for a skate in January of that for Canada college season, and I obviously right away, Victoria and on the island and all the things like that, the organization and just the overall atmosphere. I kind of dragged me and really got me to love the place, and I signed right away there, and now I'm here.
Had you ever been to the island before? Had you heard of the Grizzlies before? Was the BCHL on your radar? Did you have prior knowledge before you flew out and fell in love with it, or was it all just brand new and eye-opening and a holy cow kind of scenario?
I think pretty, like you said, it's pretty kind of pretty brand new. But there's a funny story. I didn't know I've been to Victoria actually when I was, I think, 2 or 3. Just
oh, no way.
Yeah, just a family. I think it was a family vacation, through the States or Canada, and we were in Victoria for a little bit. But I didn't know that till I think last year, where I was looking at film, or like older films of us on the what do you call it, like the VCR or whatever.
There you go. Wow, now I feel old. Thanks for that.
So I guess it comes back in a big circle. I think I got a little, I don't know, a little coincidence or things like that. But yeah, I've been here before. Yeah.
What do you remember of your first season as a rookie in 2018-19, where you had pretty good numbers for a first-year guy, played 52 games? What do you remember of that season when you kind of look back just to that rookie year?
I mean, it was such a change for me, obviously, coming from, playing school hockey to junior hockey. There's quite a bit of jump. I mean, this league is obviously so good, right? So many good players. So it was a really good learning experience for me. I mean, obviously with our team too, especially we had such a good team, right? Such a veteran team, and obviously we had that one unit, Newhook, Hughes, Campbell, Bush,
Carter Berger. I don't like to remember them.
Yeah, I mean those guys are so much fun to watch and learn. So it was a fun year for sure. Just being the first junior year of hockey. So it was a lot of fun for sure.
You had a gap there. You played again for your country at the U20 Div 3, where you lit it up, and that must have been really fun just to have the numbers you did there. 5 games, 7 goals, 13 assists. Holy cow!
No, yeah. Like I said, those tournaments are a lot of fun, and that tournament was in Iceland. So, and I mean, it was obviously great to put up those numbers, but we were able to win the championship there too, and get promoted to the upper division. So that tournament was memorable for sure, and it was a lot of fun.
Last year, just 27 games, a much different Grizzlies team, and I'm not sure there if it was adversity, if it was injury, if it was what, but you didn't play nearly as much. What's the story there?
I got hurt, and I hurt my knee. I think it was around 20 games in, and that was tough last year. I thought I was playing some pretty good hockey before that, so it was tough that injury took me out kind of for the most of the rest of the season. And I went back home to China to do some rehab and things like that. And last season was pretty quick for me, I'd say.
So how do you try to unpack what happened in the world from March to then having an extended preseason that started, then got stopped without a regular season? There's a lot of worldwide adversity beyond what happened the year before to kind of this December, I guess. What's your thoughts on trying to react to how the world changed and your part in it and how the hockey world started, then stopped? It was, hard to even try to back it up and think about it all, but here we are.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's been a crazy time, obviously, for everybody around the world. You know, it's a really tough time, but I think, you know, since like you said, since March, you know, through the summer, I think for myself, I try to just stay active and try to stay positive on things, and you know, just try to do as much as I could the same things that I do in the summers, and obviously, and then coming into the season, you know, we knew it wasn't going to be you know, a normal season, I would say, and but I think, you know, the boys on the team, you know, we did such a great job, and you know, just the idea of, you know, sticking together and you know, sacrificing a lot of things and staying in Victoria and, you know, grinding and working together, and you know, and staying positive as a group, and that's always tough. But you know, I think the group of guys that we had, you know, we have this year, you know, we made it pretty easy, and you know, we turned this sort of tough and difficult and different season into you know, a fun one for sure, and the one that sort of we will never forget, you know. So yeah, it's been great, and you know, we got 2 games left here, so yeah, we'll enjoy it for sure.
2 games left. I feel bad for you and bad for me because we do an interview and speak about some losses and some tough games where the other guys in McDonald and Valou's, when you guys looked unbeatable. But you beat Nanaimo 6-1, fell to Couch and 9-6 to Nanaimo back on Wednesday. That's a crazy game. I don't know how you even try to talk about it. Fell down by a couple, battled back, made it interesting. That's just kind of nuts, I guess. That's my words. What was it like playing in that one? 15 goals for. You'd think 6 would win it for you when you'd only scored 4 combined your previous 2, yet you give up 9. That's a tough one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's always tough to win in 3 in a row now, but you know, yeah, that game was pretty crazy, like you said. You know, scoring 6 goals. I think we would think, you know, we would win the game, but you know, Nanaimo played a really good game. We got to give them that, and I think it was just one of those games where you know,
they just happen. Sometimes they're just unexplainable, totally.
Yeah, nothing really, you know, went our way. You know, bounces didn't go our way, but you know, I think we played a pretty decent game. Obviously, you know, we would like, you know, to always play better and better, but yeah, it was just one of those games where didn't really go our way.
That one's in the past. You have Alberni today. You have Alberni Sunday. You have a tie for the Island Pod standings. Maybe the schedule makers knew what they were doing. What do you expect out of these final 2 to end your pod campaign against Alberni Valley, and how much motivation do you take with the pod standings where they are at, and how you could win it to finish off this weird season?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously pretty fun, you know, having lost 2 games, you know, sort of on the grabs, you know, for the standings in our division, and yeah, you know, both games against Alberni, you know, we know they're a good team, and I think we'll just need to come out to play our game, and you know, we only got 6 periods left to go, so you know, kind of take it one period at a time, and you know, work together as a group like we have been, and you know, those good games that we had, you know, we just come out and play. So you know, we know not to be excuses guy, but we know we're missing some key guys.
Yep.
But yeah, I think we'll just play our game and sort of enjoy it too. Being the last 2 games of the season, so have some fun and go from there.
It's been a grind physically. I can't even imagine what it's been like. How are you feeling as you get down to the end of it here? It's been a lot of travel. It's been a lot of hockey. It's got to be taxing, but it's like you said, you just got to look at it as an opportunity to have some fun that you've been able to play, but hasn't been easy.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, it's been a lot of hockey in a short amount of time, but yeah, I mean, it flew by for sure. But yeah, like I said, yeah, just try to have some fun and enjoy the last 2 here.
What's some silver lining, positive thing that you have taken out of this entire worldwide pandemic that's made you a better player, that's made you a better person, that's opened your eyes? It's just with all that's been negative and all that's been lost, I've asked every guy, just something that's a positive they've unexpectedly found out of everything.
I mean, just the idea of how grateful and how lucky we are to sort of have some sort of a season, right? I mean, with what's going on in the world right now, and to be able to play hockey, and our league is done an amazing job of having us have the ability to play these games. So yeah, I think that's definitely the most positive thing that comes out of this season. But yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
That's all right. As we conclude this, do you want to say hello to anybody listening that got you here, that got you there? Anybody out there, now's your opportunity.
I think, obviously shout out to my family. They've been everything to us. Everything to me. So, yeah, definitely shout out to my family. They usually watch every game, and all of them are back home, and except for my mom. My mom's here with me, but yeah, shout out to them.
Outstanding, Eddie. Really appreciate the time. Nice to speak to you, to hear your story, and wish you continued success and best luck in the future.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.